I'm happy with the basic format. The few things that we didn't get to go in successfully. So I still want to work on the logo a little bit. So if I go into the, this is just IR fan view or fan view, however you want to pronounce it. It's a shareware you can download off of CNET, and it's a handy little image. And so if we resize, I'm going to just put this in inches, and I want it to be about 1.8. And then I can go back and edit and copy. And I want to put it on the clipboard because if I insert it as an object, it takes a little bit more. So we're going to edit the sheet format, and then we'll see if I'm going to keep my text. And when I paste it, I should be pretty close. There's going to be a little bit of pixelation. It kind of moved on me a little bit. So we'd have to print that out, see if it works a little bit better, maybe go over to the PNG, see what we can do. So one of the things that I noticed in the process, so I'll leave that one for now, is that I somewhere in the mix I got rid of my drawn by and my drawn date. So I'm going to kind of shrink these up and see if I can fit these in a little bit closer and make enough room. So if I need to, let's see, we're at an 11, let's go down to 10. And that was at 12, so yeah, we'll go down to 10. On the font size, I'll open up a little more room. And just rough positioning. And the more I zoom in, kind of the better I'm going to be able to position these. It's not going to try to infer so many any other items. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And we have a drawn by. Oh, I didn't bring in an object. So let's see, my timestamp is still in there, but it wasn't showing up, so I have to see what was going on with that. So let's jump out of this for a second, and I'm going to insert, I'll just grab the model view. I want one of the later ones because I had that issue with 5.5 being the other custom properties. So just bring in a view that populates everything, and then with the annotation I can reuse the edit sheet format. I can reuse that one, and we'll do drawn by and drawn date. Position that a little bit closer. Alright, so still some more room if we needed a check or something additional. Alright, so after we've set the annotation, I'm going to link to property in the model, and then we'll come back to the property names. We'll set the drawn by. And then I'm going to go back and set the link model here and drawn date. Okay, so that'll keep kind of the original and some of our other items. So let's see, looking at this, that looks pretty well centered. So check the justification. We're going to put it off to the left, and that was interesting. I'm not sure why it did that. Well, we'll see if that updates when I get back out of it. Alright, and then the last save date. Okay, well, that is an interesting justification, so I'm not quite sure what's going on, so we may have to go back and fix that one more time. Okay, so it's looking a little more complete. I expect that I'll identify a few more things, and as I go through the process of using this template, then I will make minor adjustments as I go. If I can figure out how to correct that, probably will. So this is going to be a file save sheet format, and we give it the landscape, and then we're going to do the file save as for the drawing template, and save, and then make sure to close it. Alright, so mentioned that we had the 655 draw was pointed to the 2017 custom property. So if I right click in that view area and open the part, I'll be able to come back over, look at its properties, and see that they're a little bit different. On the bottom right, we have template options. And one thing of note is typically, I wanted to illustrate the process of creating one from scratch. Typically, I would just copy the 2017 over, or continue to use the 2017 if it's not an issue with saving it. It's forward compatible as long as it saves 2017. But if I needed to make an adjustment in the 2020, then I would save it as a new 2020 file so that I can still use it in 2017 if I have to. So to use a new template, pick from the list, and that was the original. Should go to the current. All right, so that looks like my latest. So if I apply this, then come back over to the view, notice that I have modeled by, finish, wait, revision. Go into the custom, then the old revision, I'll just remove that. If we would need to make sure, actually let's leave revision in there, and we'll see which one has the priority. So my drawn by was not attached, so let's go ahead and populate these out. And we'll put in today's date. Got the materials, got the name, save that, come back to the sheet, go ahead and leave the part open for now. And then Control Q, make sure everything updates, except I haven't updated my sheet format. So since I still have the old sheet format, we can go to Properties, pick the current, latest I guess would be, and then apply the changes, and then Control Q one more time, and no cooperation. So we're gonna just take and pick a default landscape, and there comes a certain amount of danger with doing that notes and other things may get lost in the mix, but let's go ahead and apply the changes. I'm still getting that block error, so no. I think I can go ahead and edit the sheet format. We will right click on the block, and I'm just going to explode it since I'm having problems with it. The only thing is I'd want to be careful anytime I edit the sheet that I didn't accidentally drag something out and away. Alright, so we edit the sheet format, we save this one, and I think we're good for this item. So that brings up one more iteration to change. So I close this out, we go back to a new, and don't want to insert any of our items. So if I edit the sheet format, we'll come down one more time, right click, explode the block. Then I can accept the sheet format and save sheet format. And then save as to the document template. Just missed. Alright, so this is kind of an ongoing process. You'll find things that work. I guess one of the other ones that I meant to put in there would be the notes. So we come back to annotation. If I open up kind of a note tab, item 1, break all edges, 0.005 min. Alright, so 5 thousandths edge break, something along those lines to denote. So when I add that, if there comes to a note on finish, maybe we need a surface finish, since I didn't include it distinctly in the title block. Surface finish symbol, that's a little big. Let's put it as a 63. Or better. And we do want to be careful with that, because if it works out that machining process can hold a 16 or an 8, we're probably going to get a 16 or an 8. So you do want to be aware that maybe we put in a 16 to 32 or 16 to 63. Alright, so those are micro inches. We're going to talk about those in upcoming videos. I'll go ahead and save this out one more time to the sheet format in the document, to the drawing template, and then we'll be back to setting our dimensions. Actually, there's one more that I just thought of. Over on the right, it's probably not on your screen. If we go to the toolbars, if you turn on the layer, I was going to set up my my layer. So there's a standard format, and I would like a DIMS layer, and usually the color on that one is one of the blues, and then a center, and for center usually pick one of the magentas, hit OK. Now when we're going through and I do the save, those layers will stay. Really want the DIMS or the per standard format, but typically we're going to bring the parts in and start dimensioning. So if the DIMS layer is the default, then as we add center lines or center marks, then we can build those out later.